Welcome to the lesson on Claude Code Agent Skills. We'll explore what skills are, why they matter, and how you can create and use them safely. By the end, you'll feel confident adding custom capabilities to Claude. Imagine you need Claude to handle PDF extraction across many projects. Without skills, you'd repeat the same prompt each time, burning tokens. Skills let you package that expertise once, call it when needed, and keep the rest of the model lean. This slide sets the stage for why we care about skills. We'll cover the underlying design, walk through building a skill, see how to invoke it in code, and discuss safety checks. Each objective builds toward practical mastery. Skills act like plugins. They sit on Claude's virtual machine as directories, each containing a description and the tools needed for a particular job. When a request matches the description, Claude pulls in the relevant files. Think of skills as a library. You keep the books on a shelf, the VM, and only read the chapters you need. This saves context, ensures repeatable results, and lets you control what code runs. Pre-built skills cover common formats like PowerPoint or PDF. Custom skills let you encode proprietary workflows, such as internal data validation, giving you the same performance benefits with your own logic. Every skill starts with a YAML header. The name is the identifier, and the description tells Claude when to activate the skill. Including both what it does and when to use it is required for reliable discovery. Here we define a skill for sales reporting. The description mentions quarterly sales reports and CSV data, so Claude will load this skill whenever a user request matches those cues. A skill is a directory on Claude's VM. The core file is SKILL.md, which holds the human-readable guide. Supporting scripts and resources sit alongside, ready to be invoked without entering the prompt. This diagram visualizes the layout. When Claude triggers a skill, it reads SKILL.md first. Any referenced script or resource is fetched later, keeping the initial token load minimal. Instructions are the flexible part of a skill. They let you describe workflows, embed snippets, and point to auxiliary files. Claude reads them only when the skill is relevant, preserving context efficiency. Code files give deterministic behavior. Claude invokes them with a bash command, captures std out, and uses that result. The script source never appears in the conversation, which saves tokens and isolates execution. Resources are like a knowledge base. If a skill needs a database schema, it can pull the file only when required. This on-demand model lets you bundle extensive documentation without penalty. Think of the skill as a multi-layered onion. The outermost layer, metadata, is always present, letting Claude know the skill exists. Deeper layers are peeled back only when the conversation demands them, keeping token usage low. This flowchart shows the path Claude follows. It starts at metadata, moves to instructions if the trigger matches, and then optionally to resources or scripts. Each step adds tokens proportional to the content loaded. Because skills can run arbitrary scripts, they pose a security risk if sourced from unknown parties. Always verify the code, limit Filesystem access, and prefer skills you control. This slide emphasizes a cautious approach. When calling the Claude API, you tell the service which skill to load by passing its identifier. The three beta headers enable code execution, skill loading, and file operations inside the container. This shell snippet demonstrates how to add the three beta headers when invoking the API. The container field points to the skill you want Claude to load for this request. In Claude Code, you don't need API calls. Simply drop the skill folder into the designated path, and Claude will recognize it. When a user asks for a PDF extraction, Claude matches the description and pulls in the skill automatically. Building a skill is straightforward. Start with a directory, define metadata, flesh out instructions, and optionally include scripts or resources. A quick bash read verifies that Claude can locate the file. This example shows a full SKILL.md with metadata, a brief description, and an embedded Python snippet. Claude will read the file, Then execute the script via bash when needed, returning the clean CSV path. Claude uses standard bash commands to fetch files. The first command pulls the markdown instructions into context. The second runs a script, with only the script's output, e.g., a success message, entering the prompt. When a skill references a script, Claude invokes it in the VM sandbox. This isolation prevents side effects, and the model only sees the script's output, keeping the token count low and the execution safe. The diagram visualizes token impact. Metadata is a small constant cost. Instructions add a moderate amount when triggered. Resources and scripts add tokens only when explicitly accessed, allowing large bundles without penalty. While powerful, skills require careful management. Because they're file system based, you must copy them to each Claude surface you use. Clear descriptions help Claude pick the right skill, and routine security reviews keep your environment safe. Depending on where you place the skill folder, you control its visibility. A home directory location keeps it private, while a project-level folder lets teammates reuse the same skill without extra uploads. To move a skill between Claude Code, the API, and the web UI, you either upload it through the UI or copy the folder via the command line. Each surface maintains its own copy, so updates must be propagated manually. Let's quickly revisit the workflow. Start with proper YAML, flesh out the Markdown guide, bundle any code or data, verify via simple commands, and finally place the skill where Claude can discover it. This checklist ensures a smooth rollout. In summary, Agent Skills give you reusable, secure extensions for Claude. By structuring them correctly and respecting the loading model, you get efficient, consistent behavior across all Claude interfaces. Thanks for joining this session on Claude Code Agent Skills. Feel free to ask anything about building, securing, or deploying skills, and we'll dive deeper together.